When you open an AI paper, do not begin by reading it. Begin it by writing 4 empty lines. Yes, before the abstract, before the method, before the sentence that contains 3 acronyms and somehow no verb. 4 empty lines, because your first job is not to understand the entire paper. Your first job is to stop the paper from feeling infinite. You probably know the moment the title makes sense, the first paragraph almost makes sense, then page 2 opens a trapdoor, a new model appears, 6 dataset arrives, the authors introduce a loss function, thank 17 previous method, and you keep reading because reading feels like progress. 15 minutes later, you have highlighted half of the paper and can explain none of it. That is not a lack of intelligence, it is basically the navigation problem. A research benchmark called PaperBench makes this problem usually clear. Researchers gave AI agents 20 papers selected as spotlights or oral presentation at ICML, a major machine learning conference, and asked the agents replicate the work from scratch, not summarizing it, rebuild it. The agents had to understand the paper, develop the code, run the experiments, and recover the research results. To evaluate that enormous task, PaperBench divided the work into 8,316 individuals gradable tasks. The strongest agent test in the study averaged 21%, and the test models did not beat the human baseline. Now, that result is about the AI agent, not students. But it reveals something useful for every reader. A research paper is not one task, it is basically the stack of problem, decisions, method, evidence, assumptions, and possible consequences. So when you feel lost inside a paper, that feeling is not proof that you do not belong there. It is the evidence that you need a map. So I'm Hamza, a founder, PhD candidate, and AI researcher, and this is Paper Fearless. One paper, one clear idea, one buildable move. So last week we opened the door. Today we stop wandering through every corridors. So your first map has 4 lines: mission, move, prove, build. Not 4 pages, 4 lines. So at this stage, each line is one sentence. It can be imperfect, it can change. A rough map of a city is more useful than a perfect drawing of one lamp post here. So let us build it. Line 1 is mission, asks what is the paper trying to make better. Not simply what topic is the paper about. The topic tells you the neighborhood, but the mission tells you why anyone entered it. Maybe the paper is trying to make medical image analysis more reliable when level data is scarce. Maybe it is trying to help a vision system keep working when fog hides parts of the road. Maybe it is testing whether an AI agent can genuinely reproduce an experiment instead of producing code that merely looks convincing. Existing systems struggle with something. A process is too slow, too expensive, too unreliable, too opaque, or too difficult to reproduce. Turn that friction into one sentence that this paper is trying to make blank better under blank conditions. So that is your vision line. Do not write 3 paragraphs. If the paper has already hired you, resign politely. If the paper has already hired you, then resign politely. One sentence. Line 2 is move, like asks, what did the researcher actually do? Use a strong verb. They built something, trained something, compared something, adapt, compressed, combined, measured, or tested something. At this point, do not try to memorize every layer, module, parameter, and acronyms. So you are finding the road, you are not basically moving into the architecture. A move line might be they trained a smaller model to choose different computational routes depending on available resources, or they give researcher agents complete papers and tested whether those agents could rebuild the experiments. Notice what is the line does not decide. So it does not tell you whether the work is truly novel. It does not separate the central contribution from every supporting detail. That investigation comes later. For now, you only need to know what action took place. One sentence. Line 3 is proof. So here, proof is a memory word, not a promise of absolute certainty. So ask, how did the researchers support what they were claiming? So you are not auditing every number yet, you are locating the shape of the evidence. So did they compare their approach with established baseline? Did they test it across several data sets? Or did they measure accuracy, speed, memory, energy, robustness, or human judgment? Did they repeat experiments? Did they report where the method failed? So a proof line might be they compared the approach with standard models across 3 datasets and measured both accuracy and latency. So this line matters because an abstract can sound extremely confident. Proof asks where that confidence came from. So not where you agree with it or not whether every experiment was sufficient or not, just what evidence did they bring into the room. One sentence. So line 4 is build, asks if this direction is useful, what could it help someone create or test, improve, or question next. This line belongs partly to you. Missions tell you why the researchers began. Move tells you what they did. Proof tells you how they supported it. And build asks what became possible or necessary afterward. So could the idea help create a smaller model for an edge device? Could it improve an audit process for a high-risk AI system? Could it inspire a new experiment or failure case? Could it reveal a question the authors did not test? So build turns reading from conception into research, but keep it connected to the evidence. So if a paper improves one benchmark by a small amount, do not write, build a fully autonomous hospital by Friday. So Friday already has enough problems. So your build line can be modest. Test whether the same idea remains reliable on a smaller device. Create a tool that records evidence for every reproduced claims. Investigate who carries the risk when the method fails. So one sentence. Yeah. Now let us use the map 1 PaperBench. So mission, test whether AI agents can replicate state-of-the-art machine learning research instead of merely talking about it. Move, give agent 20 ICML paper, require code and experimental execution, and grade the work through thousands of smaller tasks. Proof. So the strongest tested agent averaged 21% and the tested models did not outperform the human baseline. Build. Use the benchmark to improve research agents and expose where paper-to-code systems fail between understanding, implementation, and evidence. That's it. A complex paper has become 4 lines. So do I understand every technical detail now? No. Do I know what kind of paper I am standing inside? Yes. So that's the difference, and the difference is enormous. So A map does not contain every tree, it tells you where to walk next. Here is the first pass I want you to try. Give yourself 90 seconds. For the first 20 seconds, use the title and the opening of the abstract to write mission. For the next 20, continue through the abstract and the method overview to write move. The next 20 seconds, use the results and conclusion to locate the kind of evidence and write proof. So use the following 20 seconds to write build in your own words. During the final 10 seconds, place a question mark beside the line you trust least. That question mark is valuable. It turns confusion from fog into a location. Now you know what to read more carefully. Your first map is allowed to be wrong. You can revise it after a deeper reading. The dangerous version is not an imperfect map. The dangerous version is 40 minutes of highlighting without a question. After this video, open one AI paper you saved because it looked important, or avoid it because it looked impossible. Write mission, move, proof, build. Then ask yourself which line was hardest to write and what human question did you discover inside the paper. Share both below, not the most impressive question, the real one. Next week we meet the part that makes many students close the tab. So the equation, we will not worship them and we will not run from them. We will translate what they are doing into plain language, but only after we know why we are there. So the paper is no longer an endless corridor. You have a map, mission, move, proof, build. One paper, one clear idea, one buildable move. This is Paper Fearless.